What is good, my people, my peeps? How are you guys doing this early morning? How are you guys doing? Uh, I'm up. I'm up not because I need to be up right now. I'm up because of a message that I want to say. I must say, and I was awakened by a message. If you follow my platform, you know I have told you I am a seer. I'm a dreamer. I am awake. Okay. Uh, you've seen the title. You've seen the title of the message, The Internet. Be careful in deep waters. Hmm. That's right. I'm going to talk to you all tonight, well, early this morning. And if I go and say tonight again, you know why. It's bright and early. It's 3:38. But I've been up before then. Like I just mentioned, I was asleep and I had a dream, and which brought me to this topic of the internet. There's a lot of things going on this internet. There's been a lot of things. And if you hear noise in the back, that's just the blinds because the wind is blowing. So forgive the noise in the back, the background noise. Um, but there's been a lot of things going on these internet streets and just in the world in general, and especially, amongst men and women. And amongst men and women of my people, when I say my people, I am referring to what you may know as Black people. There's been a gender war that's been going on for a long, long time. Even when I mentioned this gender war, oh my goodness, many, many years ago, and tried to forewarn what is to come about this gender war amongst my people, my Black people. Israel, I got severe pushback. Severe pushback. Um, hmm. And I have had my you know, what they call it. I want to be correct when I say this. My creative intellect stolen. That's right. And for me on my platform, I don't need to mention no names because my name has not been mentioned. So this is not a sneak diss to anyone. But if you know, you know. Because I believe I was amongst maybe the second person on these internet streets to even mention sneak dissing. Yeah, I was a female, um, which is so hard for my Black men to understand the strength of Black females in their own community. They'll uplift a white woman. They'll uplift a white man, the white community, faster than they can wink their eye at. Yeah. They'll uplift everybody but their own woman in their own community. And this is not necessarily to say their woman that they're sleeping with. Okay? Just their own woman of their own nation. And Lord forbid if she is wise and if she is knowledgeable. Oh my God, Lord forbid that in their eyes. because some of them have just been trained. Some of them are just regurgitating what others have said. And some of them are just out here making up stuff. When I stepped on the scene on these internet streets, there was many of reasons why. But I'm going to focus on what awoke me this morning. Not too long ago, the Most High sent me a message in a dream. That's right. They stepped back from you, and you were the first. That's right, the first. You are seeing a lot of beef going on. You're seeing a lot of beef back and forth going on these internet streets. Good morning. So I'm going to step back and I'm just going to observe like I've been observing. You see, a woman shouted out from the mountaintops of these internet streets. I've been wronged. I've been mistreated. My name has been defamed. A woman, a black woman, and a woman who stepped out on these internet streets amongst or in a community that is supposed to be righteous and supposed to know that they are the children of the Most High Yah. That's right. A woman. But you see, in our community and from the so-called studied, but really they are not studied men of the word, they fail to know their history, so therefore they repeat their history. You see, when things are taken from you, when things are stolen from you, you have been assaulted, right? You have been assaulted. Good morning, welcome in. And from the teachings in the word, when you are assaulted, you must scream to the mountaintops. You must scream to the top of your voice, right? You see, in the Bible and in this Roman society that we live in, and I've said this over and over and over again, and time again, that the word has been misconstrued. That every word you read, you cannot take in as actual, because your enemy has had their hands on that word for many years. Well, one thing I noticed, even within my community, even within waking up to understand that I am the child of the Most High Yah. I am Israel. And then on top of that, waking up to understand that I am gifted. No matter what anyone believes, I cannot deny that we serve a living Yah. That's right. We serve a living Yah. But my men, my goodness, the men of my community, I try not to to be so harsh with, hoping that there are someone out there that still and I know there is, have the gift, the grace, the foresight, the discernment. But these internet streets, be careful because the water is deep. You see, I mentioned shouting out to the mountaintops when things have been taken from you, even if it's down to your brilliance, your discernment, and the gifts that the Most High gives you to forewarn people, whether they want to believe it or not, whether they understand that you are a woman of the Most High Yah, and He does bless women. You see, our men have been so destroyed. Yes, even the ones who proclaim to follow the Most High have been so destroyed when it comes to the understanding and the relationships of their partner, whether it be their own wives, whether it be their own sisters, whether it be their own women of their own nation. They are destroyed to see the strength in these women. When I first came out, when I realized that I had been in deep water swimming amongst not only sharks, but killer whales. That's right, killer whales. I screamed to the mountaintops. I screamed throughout these internet streets that my work, the discernment that Most High Yah gave to me to spread the word to the nation, had been stolen. That's right, had been stolen, and that I was dragged through for filth through these internet streets as if I was a liar by a content creator. There's no sneak diss here. By a content creator that drugged me for filth, but knowing he stole my work. That's right. And being that I was a little channel, and on top of that being a small channel, because I only had, at that time, 500 subscribers. That's right. Little indeed. But on top of that being a woman, and on top of that to add the cherry, on top, a black woman. When the heat was really on, dragging us black women through the mud and the gutters, no matter what street you were on, whether it be the real streets or these internet streets. So it was easy for him to destroy my little channel and made me crawl. But the truth still prevailed because I wasn't out here for money. This person I tried to help, I shouted that out with several videos to an empty, dark depths of the ocean. No one came. So I was like a little fish in a big wide ocean. But I stood my ground and I continue to navigate through this ocean, this world, these internet streets. And I still did not take down my videos, did not run from any smoke. Okay? When I came out and I spoke about how New Breed did me dirty after interviewing him, at the time, working for a major corporation, a major media corporation, and I interviewed New Breed. And I still was giving motivational messages, and how I noticed that he was taking my work and flipping my work and using my work, my talent, but not giving me any credit for the things that I said, but he used them for himself. I realized just a year ago, 2024, as another internet beef broke out between New Breed and Ringo TV, Ringo Reactions TV, that I would never receive even a simple apology from New Breed for stealing my work. Matter of fact, he found it quite amusing. But I want to say this. I mentioned shouting out from the mountaintops, shouting out when you've been misused, mishandled. And I did that 3 years ago, prior to all of this internet beef that you guys are hearing across the streets, across these internet streets. A woman shouted out about the misuse, the mishandling, asking for discernment, asking for righteous judgment. And did I get it? No. See, this is the problem I am seeing within even our own community, within the community that proclaims to be set apart. But I'm seeing a lot of it is just a money grab. That's right. Because I didn't even get the support, and it even echoes down into what we see in the Bible for a lot of women that have been abused. They don't get the support until it's too late. Hence, Dinah just simply going to hang out with a couple of friends and was raped. Had the greatest father. Was told that she was raped, but they didn't go out. They sat on their behind after his own daughter was raped, until one of their brothers, Dinah's own brother, this is biblical, had devised a plan of payback. There was only one man in her whole dynasty, her whole family, who devised a plan to pay back the man who took his sister's honor. So that's why I say there might be a group, a whole squadron of men, but they look at us, and especially us Black women, as nothing, only to benefit them at the time that it benefits them, only to siphon off our gifts, our energy, our favor from the Most High Yah. Not to uplift, not to promote, only to siphon off. But I want you to know in this message tonight that although Dinah was defiled, there is always one in the midst that will stand up for us women. I have yet to find that one. I have seen people breeze by. I have seen people say that I joined a group of people because they were mad with New Breed. And they forget that for 2 years, I stood out here on these internet streets alone, crying out and sparing not anyone, that I had been defiled. I had been taken advantage of, and all I did was try to help a brother, Israel. When I say that each and every time I notice that our sisters are not protected, like these group of men from red pill communities throughout these internet streets proclaim that they want the not the modern women. They want the women of old. They want to be the protector of these men. They want to be the provider of these men. But in actuality, they really don't. They just want the spotlight. That's what they want. The spotlight. Although, when this internet beef amongst men finally blew up, yes, I mentioned, hey, I believe you, Ringo. I believe every word. I dropped a message in on one of the videos when him and New Breed's beef begun. And I said, I believe every word you're saying, how he sneaked this. And they were not. And I'm making this plain. Ringo wasn't using sneak dissing. Rollo wasn't using sneak dissing. And Brainwaves was not using the word sneak dissing. I brought the word sneak dissing on my video, and there was another word that I was using at the time. It's like impressing your energy onto other people. I can't remember the terminology. That's right, a woman. Nobody was using that because they were hanging with New Breed. All of them were friends with New Breed. And I sit here as the Most High Yah wakes me up, and I wonder to myself, I know that Rollo knew who I was because he actually came after me, attacked me, but once him and New Breed and them fell out, and I finally was seen, I know he apologized to me, and I accepted his apology. So I know Rollo knew who I was. But as I sit here and I reflect back, did the others know who I was and said nothing? Had no righteous counsel? Because I tagged and spoke out New Breed 3 years ago, before all of what you guys are hearing on these internet streets between these men begun, about how I was treated, how my intellectual property was mishandled and taken. I spoke out, a woman. Now, a year ago, because this beef that has blown up with New Breed and Rollo and Brainwaves and Ringo TV, was there some kind of jealousy amongst the mix? Because I recall that New Breed got called out by all of them. And I stood right beside him, even though nobody, even if they did not know of me, they knew of me now. Even though I was out here on my own, proclaiming what New Breed was doing wrong, and no man said anything. But once it was known, once the information was really known, and like I say, um, they mentioned it. That's right. They mentioned the fact that they weren't the first to put it on the streets because they hung out. They were partners. They were buddies with New Breed. So I, along with another content creator, Young Still, who made it plain how New Breed did him. And that was even before me. Young Still was a male who said how New Breed stole his content and put it out there. I'm making it plain tonight. I have to put the records on the internet because I was awakened by the Most High Yah with discernment of a dream. I came out and spoke the truth about how New Breed did me, and I was fighting for my life. But now let's speed up because I felt as if I was part of a community, brotherhood, finally acknowledges that a woman spoke on sneak dissing. A woman spoke on the character of New Breed and how he was moving way before this council of men. And I say council of men because there's a lot of them now coming against you, New Breed. When you could have nipped all of this in the bud a long time ago. You keep stacking, stacking, stacking. And it's making me wonder what's the real deal? Because when I came out and said it, and all of the groups of men that I just mentioned would say, yes, Ethereal. He stole from Ethereal. He stole content from Ethereal. He hindered Ethereal's growth. He hindered Ethereal's movement, money on these internet streets. It was said. It was mentioned. Rollo, like I said, apologized. And he mentioned, and to this day, the one that has come against, the one that had came against me when he was rocking with New Breed, the one that apologized to me is the only one that even mentions or says my name in his when he's live, and that is Rollo. He doesn't wait till I donate to his platform any monies to mention me. He doesn't group me in, like now that I'm noticing that this is turning into a boys club more than making things right. Because when you're putting something on the docket, when something is in court and you're making it right for the people that were involved and the people that you know that was involved in some kind of heinous situation, crime, whatever it may be, when it's on the docket, or when we're looking for a righteous judgment, you don't exclude the people who this is affecting or who it has affected. So something feels just not right in the mix. And like I said, the only person in the group of men that at first stated I was on this docket with them, Ringo TV, Brainwaves, Rallo, not grouping up with these group of men because I needed to be attached to a group. Because like I stated before, I've been out here alone the whole time, fighting this battle alone. So I wasn't clicking up with these men. But when you're fighting and when you're, like I said, all parties are going to be subpoenaed to come to court. Everybody's on the docket. But what I've noticed lately, of the group of men that know right from wrong, supposedly, and these battles keep going on, they're only listing out the names of men that New Breed has affected, their monies, their reputations. And these names of men that they are listing came after the fact, came after I said, and I put out here on these internet streets how New Breed was, how New Breed was moving out here. But it's making me kind of weary because our men are starting to move in packs, and they're men packs. No. So you hear today is what? March the 4th, 2025. I say no to that group, that pack. If you are looking for righteous judgment of a person, do not put on the docket all of the men that he has hindered, affected. And now you leave out the women's names that he affected as if it's too much for you to mention. Well, what is really going on then? What is really going on? Where you now cannot mention the women's name? Is it because you are shamed? Because New Breed a few months ago put you in the forefront and says, who is Ethereal, when he knew who I was? When he knew who I was? And he said, these men keep mentioning a woman's name, Ethereal. And after that, and this is proof, his video evidence, the group of men that stood up and said, this woman was affected too. And now you all cannot state my name as affected, not as a clique, not trying to be part of the clique, not trying to be part of a group just to be a group, affected by this man. He affected my money, my flow, my movement way before you all came out. And the only one who says or mentions my name is Rilo. That's right. It's Rilo. And I know Rilo was kicking it with New Breed. He was New Breed's guy on his channel before they fell out. So Rilo know about me and I know about Rilo. He apologized to me and I accepted it. Like I didn't stated that 2 times, 3 times now. So what is this becoming? Oh, I turned this from a beef really about New Breed to now trying to uh, uh, grow an army of men and just say, oh, and he's affected women too. No, that's not right. That's not right. If you have mentioned all of these other brothers now that New Breed has affected, that we hadn't heard they do a video until New Breed affected. Mark the Messenger was a ride or die homeboy of New Breed. He was under New Breed before New Breed even blew up. I mean, Mark the Messenger even blew up. He was ride or die with New Breed when he had 5,000. Now he almost at 1,000,000 followers. And he done fell out with New Breed. And y'all even mentioned his name and throw us. And I don't know the other women. I know it was a woman that was affected by New Breed from this farm initiative. But you know what? When books and history is written, y'all wouldn't have known nothing about Rosa Parks if they took her name out the history books, would you? No, you wouldn't. Hmm. These internet streets are a mystery and the water is deep. Did my brothers become shame when New Breed said, why y'all keep mentioning Ethereal's name? And my brothers stopped even mentioning my name? Or is it because I wasn't donating big amounts of money? Did it turn into a church service where I got to donate thousands of dollars when it wasn't even about that before I can get my name circulated and stayed on his heels too? Is it about that? Because nobody comes running over to my channel, support my channel, but Rilo. That's right. Out of the brothers that's proclaimed to be fighting this battle. 1 or 2 times. When and knowingly, I'm busy too. Mm-hmm. Now I want to hear about I'm busy. I got things. I'm a busy woman too. I got to support myself as well. But when I take time out, I have gone and visited the brothers who proclaim that they fighting for righteousness. Mm-hmm. But it's been mm, I can't even call it. I just hope and pray that this is not what I think it's becoming. Nothing more than a boys' club, of building an army just to come against one man, when it should be about righteous judgment. And if you're going to mention all of those men's names, If you're going to mention all of these men's names that New Breed affected, you should be mentioning the first woman that New Breed affected with her income, her business. Don't put her on the back burner. Don't put me on the back burner. Because I was the first out here before all of you started talking about how New Breed did you dirty. Remember that. I was out here before all of you started talking about how New Breed did you dirty. Now, if you take this and feel a certain way, then you go ahead and feel a certain way because you not mad about your business and you don't want to realize what I say is true. That's right. If women have been affected and you know good and god dang on well, I was the first. Don't wait until you think you're going to get $1,000 donation from me. Don't wait until you think you're going to get something in your Cash App. Because damn it, I don't get nothing over here in this Cash App. And if I get support, it's from Ever Studios and Rilo. If I got to name out the supporters that I have gotten over here. If we want to talk about Cash Apps and stuff like that. This is turning into the online is turning into the new church hustle. If y'all want real supporters and real people rocking with you, real people and real supporters that rock with you, gonna rock with you whether they got money to give you or not. And I've been real on these internet streets and transparent, which a lot of people can't even say. And if they say it, half the time they lying. These internet streets, the waters are deep. So there's no sneak diss in here. It's all facts. You can't act as if you are proclaiming that you want justice. You want to be, this person needs to be in the court of the righteous Israel. Public display of calling one out. And you forget to even mention the women because you're turning it into a boys' club and not about righteous judgment. A boys' club. So, as a woman and as a black woman, I know what I say will make some men upset because in their heart of hearts, they really don't want us to speak and speak the truth, be a strong black woman, and hold you accountable for your actions. Some of them will not like this post tonight, this morning. I fall back because I see that you have fallen back from me. When I blew the trumpet first, when I blew the surfer first to let you know that you had a wolf amongst you. But what is really going on now? We shall all see. We shall all see. The internet, the waters are deep. I'm out, and much love.